Okay, let me get my YouTube thing set up. Hold up. Uh, there. Okay, let's play some more New Vegas. We're about to finish up this DLC. I think I've got everything in terms of uniques and whatnot. Mm. Got all the implants I wanted. I never did show you this weapon. It's pretty fast for a hand-handy weapon. Not as fast as greased lightning though. That one's a that one's a beast when it comes to just straight up, um, you know, swinging.
You require some additional service.
Now this one I can do basic physicals and I think that's just heals me up, heals all my physical limbs and whatnot.
You require some
So free
additional.
healing basically. But then there's cosm cosmic cosmetic surgery, which I think yet just unlocks the ability to change my character again, which he looks fine. I'm not gonna change him.
You require some additional.
Then there's the get a haircut. Yep. Like other stuff, I can change my hair. The Kings
You
could have done that
require
too,
some
but that's
additional.
a dumbass thing to be a part of the Kings, and only thing you really get is a cool looking King's outfit, which I could honestly just grab by killing one of them. Actually, no, that the King's outfit's a little rare. Not all the Kings wear it. Can also swap body parts. Oh, I can't swap body parts. Yeah, I need to get my brain. Don't know if I'll get them all back. I think I'll get my brain back, but I think I'll keep the heart and the spine in there, because the spine gives me the extra strength, which is really nice. The heart, what does the heart do again? Fuck, I forget. Heartless, 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 heartless. Thinking of Kingdom Hearts now. Yeah. Your heart also regulate bleeding, healing, allowing all healing items, chems to function at higher level. Yeah, that's why I kind of want it because the chems and whatnot all function at a higher level, but um, there's the downside of actually, go ahead and
Might I be of service?
there it is. Let me make sure I drop the canine gun because both of them are different. This one's technically better in terms of overall damage and the the fast rate of fire, but where the hell did it go? There you are. Oof, okay. Now let's upgrade this bad boy to the Fido. I don't know if Fido can take mods. It actually does do a little more
Might
damage,
I
but
be of service, sir? Might I be of service?
sell that, sell that. These both do the same thing, so I'll sell that one. Actually, no, I won't sell that one yet. It's going to take away all this guy's money.
Might I be of service, sir? Very.
You know, I want to repair.
Might I be of service?
Jeez, that's expensive. Actually, why did I even do that? I don't need to do that. I do want to repair Joshua's armor at least, but Christine's, I don't give a shit about that. I was going to give it to Christine's recon armor to Veronica, but it looks stupid on her, to be completely honest, because of the fact that
Might I be of service, sir?
fuck, I can't even think about it right now. Fuck, she's gone completely retarded. Because can't fucking speak. Just fix this damn thing right quick.
Might I be of service?
Alright, what the hell was I gonna do? I don't need to repair enough money now, I can save my money. Where's my weapon repair kit? There it is. Repair him. He's repaired enough. As long as it's past that initial line, I'll be able to do its good amount of damage. The camp jumpsuit, I don't need that shit. Get that out of here. Put that in there. Boom. Should not have brought the hollow rifle because I forgot about this layer. I didn't think I'd use it as much, but it's actually kind of powerful because of the fact that it can shoot so fast. Compared to the hollow rifle, which shoots really slow but does really high damage. So. What do I have to do now? Find all audio samples for the jukebox. Gotta find one more, and that's in a. It's in the Forbidden Zone, yep. There's one more location around here I'm missing that I can get that challenge done. What the fuck is that, though? Let's look up a map of this right quick, because I missed a location somewhere. I don't know how the hell I got 34 out of a certain amount. Let me look it up. Aha. It's another research center up here. I'm gonna wait for a couple days so I can see if those canine mods respawn, if I can use them or not. Now I wonder. Downside about using Fidos, I don't got a whole lot of 44 Magnum ammo. Except the surplus is pretty good. Got plenty of those. Still don't want to use that. I hate when it makes that noise, it's so fucking stupid. Use the fist weapon for now. Let's go ahead and let's do this challenge real quick. We gotta just venture outside of the hell. Holy shit, did you see that? Huh. The fuck, dude? Let's get teleported out of here twice. We get a challenge done. Oh no! Alright, let's try somewhere else now. Here looks good. Supposed to be 100 experience now. It's 90. Lying bastards. Fucking in this place can get it right. Should be like, oh, it's 100 XP if you got this perk, which is not the case. So every 3 in-game days. So I wonder if I wait out here for another day, the sink should have some shit respawned. I hope. Stocks respawn so I can sell it some more shit just for a couple more caps and see if I can buy those mods for Fido. I doubt it because it was called Canine mods specifically, so I doubt I can actually use the mods, even if they are in there to use.
Might I be of service, sir? Very good, sir.
And it didn't respawn, probably because I'm not far enough away, but that doesn't really matter. Now that I think about it, I doubt the mods would respawn, but I do want to sleep in here. I'll try sleeping for a couple more days. Do it again. One more time. Also figured out how I can get that Pimp Boy 3 billion. This was though 6 billion or 9 billion. 3 billion makes sense. It's Pip Boy 3000. It's the original name of this Pip Boy. Yeah, Model 3000. But I want to get the gold one because it makes this whole thing look like it's gold with the diamond plated things. It's funny as hell. It's kind of cool looking too. You know, it's a little extravagant, but not too extravagant that I'd be like, I'm not gonna use it. Like hell no, I'll fucking use it. Fuck off. Not gonna make another Fido. I only got one Fido.
Who do you think is cuter, Dr. Klein or Dr. Boros?
I think you need to stop talking about that lady. Get a little too fixated on that stuff.
Might I be of service, sir? Very good, sir.
Sell some of these things. I don't need all this shit. Get out of here.
Citizen, did you know that communists have an organ behind their eyes that converts salt water into fresh? Or, wait, is that penguins?
Shit, it's Programmer's Digest. I don't need all those.
Might I be of service?
I think I'm doing? I forgot now. I'll go over to that thing I want to go to. Closer. Forbidden zone, I guess? Let's see, hope there's no fucking scorpions. No scorpions. Oh, can't even get in there. Knew it. Here we are. Up to the challenge. Is there nothing here? Can't even get inside. The hell? So this is one of those outdoorsy place. Huh. Alright, well, I discovered every location. I think I did, yeah. Discovered every location, gotten every unique except... Yep. Well, what's left is the Forbidden Zone. Actually, wait, shit. No, that's not that's it. That does Cazadors. Where the DNA perception? Splicing lab, yes.
Ready, steady, fighting.
Huh? There you are. Shit.
Was that all? Ready, steady, fighting.
Shit. Killing them pretty damn fast though. Holy shit. Hi, poison. Oh, I'm not poison. I forgot. I can't get as poison as was. Yeah. Wish I had this kind of shit back when I first in here. What the hell? Clutchy bastard. Okay.
Fighting over.
Not quite, lady. Yeah. Now these Kazors can stand a fucking chance, baby. I am the greatest. Right, now I'm gonna go in here. Finish up Old World Blues.
Might I be of service, sir? Might I be of service?
Let me repair something though, so I can get rid of these other guns. Might as well just make sure it don't break out on me.
Might I be of service?
Oh no. Yes, cancel.
Might I be of service? Might I be of service, sir?
There. Wasted some money to get some money back.
Who's ready for a party? Oh, you're back. Did that trampy other light switch finally kick you to the curb? How can I illuminate you?
You're definitely a jealous, spiteful little bitch, ain't you? Light switch 2.
And you return. How randomized. Ugh. This debugging obsession of yours really has you hooked. Either that or this is one weird hobby. Yeah, they were...
Get 50 caps every day from this guy. It's free money. I'll never deny it.
The lobotomite. Why, yes. Although the term is research. Thank you. Look at these. They seem to be found inside some of the specimens here at Big Mountain. I notice these results more and more now that I know to look for them. Come back anytime, and I'll show you what else I've discovered. Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have in...
I hate the camera angles that just covering their eyes off and shit.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
Whatever.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful. Yes, yes. Yes, No, I mean yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know? I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me... a bit, I'll figure it out. Yes, that's what I believe I said. I've got it. The cardiac regulator in the suit, the antenna for brain waves, and the sonic frequency for the vertebral nerves. I'm thinking. This is all very complicated. Let me check something. Of course. I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his. Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue. What are you doing back? Mobius's threats persist. Worse, he's filling up our transmission storage holotape to capacity.
And you return.
Ready, steady, fighting.
Let me try out the other one. Where's the Fido?
Half a stim pack.
Annoying little bastards.
I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me.
I
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Never did check the perks they all got from the implants. Let's see what we got. So got that one for damage, 10% damage against Night Stalkers. This one's a full-on 30% plus the implant I got makes it 40% damage against Cazadors. Now they're just a joke to me. Like they're literally nothing. That's kind of sad. Those poor Cazadors. I feel kind of bad for them almost. Some of them only good for here though. Like at least the DNA Agent and Avenger ones will. Canker swords. Ugh. At least the DNA Agent and DNA Avenger will help with any of those creatures, because these creatures are outside the big mountain. They came from here, so they'll help out in the Mojave versions, even other versions out there. Yeah, there's his implant. That's for the Cazadors. Increases your crouch movement speed by 20% for greater efficiency. Yep. This one, yeah, this one I can drink stuff without getting radioactivity, which is nice. Rads. Enzyme booster increases the health gain from foods and recovers additional 8 points per food item consumed. Nice stuff. I just don't use food and stuff as much anymore, but I'll still keep it with me. I still get one more point for each of those, so they could do like a 30% total damage against enemies, I think. Haven't used that yet. I have to at some point. Well, so much for that. Well, he doesn't have a giant Robo Scorpion. That's all bullshit. What's this thing then?
Time to fight.
Wow.
Was that all?
Oh shit. Finally saw me. And the damn thing, come on. There. Oh, that still gives you rats now. It already does it when I go in my inventory.
Ready, steady, fighting.
You can't avoid the deadly laser sting of Dr. Mobius! It looks like the target activated and... Oh, how cute! They're engaging the X-42 giant robo
I can't wait to meet you and shut you the fuck up, you annoying bastard. Sting them in the name of Mobius.
Crush them with your pincers!
Let's actually do see what happens.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
That wasn't as satisfying. I want to kill him.
X-42, attack! In the name of Mobius! Crush them with your pincers!
Was that all?
Yeah, so there was many ways I could have handled this, especially if I was on the lower level side. If I was level 20 and came here, if I was level 20 and came here, I could have just disabled him instead of fighting him. But I wanted to fight him because it's just, you know, such a fucking chump. He's gonna stand a chance against me. The hell. This one would have activated the turrets, I believe. Might as well do it for the experience. Pretty sure you could figure out what's going to happen if I did that. I mean, if you can't, then you obviously weren't paying attention to what Dr. Mobius would say. He would have probably said something along the lines of, so I go, what's that? The turrets are activated. They still cannot stop the might of my giant robo-scorpion. That's all he would have said. It's just typical of him. Emergency shutdown, huh? They just shut down the bastard altogether, huh? Purification, got it. There. can grab this recon armor with me and use it to repair, oops. And use it to repair, the other one. I gotta find samples for the fucking biological research station guy. God damn it. Looks like Dr. Mobius's scrubs and Dr. Mobius's glove. Now we can look like, you know, the annoying doctor himself. There's a...
Okay, I'll go away.
Come on back, you whiny bitch. I'll wear you for some more.
They said I was mad. Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely. Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat? I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end. Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I. Oh, a variety of raisins. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition. I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh well. Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers. The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
I don't know what the hell I just did. I don't even want to know.
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts. I find things curious as well. Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose. Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do. Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming. Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then... The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
That's that Plan 9s was a reference to Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's an old cult classic flick.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional. Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do. Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host. There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts. Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the auto dock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be
This guy can't
reversed.
fucking speak.
If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation... I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly. The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either. Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the...
Oops.
Oh,
Damn it.
and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so. Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried. Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes. There... Not much, except they contaminated Big Mountain and installed new ideas in the think tank. One caused a great deal of infrastructure damage with his brain and smartiness. Ruthless, that one. Played a little rough with the train. But the last one was the most dangerous. Him, slipping away. That was almost as bad as the think tank escaping. The first one, the ruthless one who smashed up our toy trains, asked for weapons, power. items he could use to destroy a nation with force. The other asked a different question, and with it got the true answer about what makes nations and what breaks them. He spoke to the think tank, to Klein, showed them the flag of the old world, and it made them remember all of it. All that had happened. They shared things with him that they shouldn't. He now carries those ideas, that knowledge, elsewhere. Yes. Oh no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course, your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere. Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Don't know if I got that. Yeah. Hello. Hello, old friend.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again? Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
He's such a dick.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you? Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing. Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote, as if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment? Well, maybe next time you hear me telling you that charging a nightkin with a penknife is a bad idea, you'll listen. After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome. I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though. Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it. I I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you. Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones. I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it? Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it? I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us. Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share. And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Hmm. Alright, so there's not that much in there. Because I want to kill the scientists.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan? Ha! Thinking without a brain. The very idea is perverse. Barring the unlikely event that I evolve some sort of rocket-propelled locomotion, I will be here.
I'm having the most peculiar...
Do I... Shit, I don't got a lot of time left. I should do a little bit of time. But I figure I'd do the ending right.
Ah, the meat has returned. Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Oh, I see you and your brain reached a compromise. How pleasant. I hypothesized after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be low on the likely scale. Why, of If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. What was that plan? Blast. I probably wrote it down on the floor somewhere. Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you and forgotten it. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Spent days studying its purpose before my memory circuit kicked in. Felt quite silly. That will be difficult. It would be like fighting 5 scaled-down versions of me that have better depth perception. And they have an arsenal of vivisectors, brainial beams, and a rather nasty ray that can make your atoms do a happy dance. If you could survive those highly improbable odds and ends, then deceasing them is definitely an option. Although, I doubt killing them would do anything except make you feel better. Or let you brag to other humans about your primal violentness. Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans. Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery. Love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can spark within each of them. A wise man once said, "The eyes do more than see. Make them see, if you can." Or if not, you can always make them succumb to fear. Then you came along, and bravery and/or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. Or is this the end? Hard to tell. Oh, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we agree on a few things. Or you could kill me and lie about it. Either way, it would be interesting. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, the better. That's my experience. They're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though. Or it'll be the dissection table and vivisectors for you. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. I am Dr. Mobius, after all. Not some lab assistant teacher's aide.
What time is it? Shit, I got a lot of time. I thought I'd get the ending. The ending would be too damn long. Well. There's still a few side quests left to do, so I won't finish the DLC today. But I'm pretty damn close. So I had to get off at 6 and it's 5:45 right now. Let's look around for seeds, so I can give it to that fucking pervy garden
This one
thing.
looks pretty tough.
Oh shit!
That's all.
What the hell is this? Dionia mescalopia? The fuck? The corrosive glove.
This one looks pretty tough. Cessation of hostilities complete.
Might I be of service, sir? Might I be of service? Might I be of service?
No, damn it, wrong thing again. Shit.
Might I be of service?
I want to buy something there. Let's get rid of this Gatling laser I got on here. I think I still got it. Oh no, that's these things. Shit, it's more money than he doesn't have all that much money. Sell that one. I don't need it.
You got some plans for me, don't you? What's the hat? Right. What's the hat? Hey! Hey! I got... the super rare Mojave snow globe here.
I completed it finally.
All you gotta do is reach down into my bread slot.
Let's get my original spine stuff
You
back.
require some addition.
Cardiac arrest perk. So advanced technologies remain. You are less resistant to poison, not 50%, whereas before I couldn't get poisoned. And now robots are only somewhat confused by you, which is 25%. And only less, which are 25% less likely to restore critical hit instead of 50. On the bright side, healings and chems are twice as effective, so that's a 50% boost. Get that shit back in, baby. Oof.
You require some
And
addition.
spinal, what does that one do again? I forget. Reinforced spine. So advanced technologies remain. Your torso can now be crippled again, but your strength and damage threshold bonus have doubled. So now instead of +1 strength, it's +2. That's what I like to see.
A most rapturous
You require some additional.
good morrow on your return to your domicile, sir. I trust you shall find things in order and the riff-raff contained.
Alright, let's see if I can get this done.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped? I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again. And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments. Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism, breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dalla, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, you know, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself. Long and deep. And my name is Zero. Yeah, a big, fat zero with a slash through it.
The slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me that. Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things. Like names. And... You know what? Forget it, Klein. I hate you. And your theory of brain-gill beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brainial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary. It's 2-8. Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before.
Et tu 8, that's
And
a
this
reference to
lobotomite
Et tu
needs
Brutus.
its surgery.
You know your poetry. Not sure what that translates. It does translate to something, but I don't know that stuff.
A noble speech, but there is no room in my vocabularies for friend and lobotomite in the same sentence. The very concept, revolting. Perhaps you are irradiated with camaraderie radiation. We have chems for that. We can save you from your emotional addiction. If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens. Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and z together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5. Like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist. Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender. You dare use logic against me? That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm. For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us. Thank you for what you have done. I feel an odd emotion.
Pretty much they're all going to say thank you.
The teddy bear lobotomite returns.
So is Mobius as twisted as he looked in person? Can't believe you entered the Forbidden Zone and lived.
The lobotomite who saved us. Until next time.
If there's any reason to go back to Dr. Mobius, he might have something. I'll find that out later after tomorrow. I'm going to get here, let the ending play, and yeah.
As it had been in the years before the
You can listen to
Great
this.
War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it, and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The thing continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
I'm in heat programming circumvented.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
That's the Lonesome Road DLC. We're getting to that. The big brain perk. Your brain's back your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled. Oh, nice. We're only 10% more resistant to addiction, where I think before it was I think before it was like 20% resistant to addiction. Now it's just gone down to 10. But now my damage threshold's improved by 10%. Nice. Hell. Jesus Christ, what the hell's that? Oh yeah, hold on, yeah. It's just him rambling on for some goddamn reason. Oh yeah, here's the little transponder thingy. Well, that's it for this place. Yeah. Back home again, and I'm fucking full on gear again. I think I got everything I need though, so... Actually, there's Elijah's lair. I want to repair that. Maintain it at least. There. Alright, well, that's it for me, guys. I gotta go have some dinner with a friend, so I'll see y'all later.